World Can't Wait learned on Friday, September 22nd, that the City of Chicago denied our application for a permit to march on Thursday, October 5th. Over the last 2 weeks, the Bush regime has been on a major public opinion campaign, justifying and accelerating the disastrous course that they are taking the country. As one woman told World Can't Wait, "I feel like I'm on a train heading over a cliff with no way to get off." The march following our rally at noon in Grant Park is a right for the thousands staying out of work and school on that day in order to make known their determination to bring this to a halt. We have a right to break the deafening silence and let the public know that there are thousands and thousands who feel this way, and call on others to join us in this march. We have the right to be seen and heard. The denial of our application appears to be part of an alarming pattern nationwide. World Can't Wait protesters in San Francisco have been denied a permit to march on October 5th on the basis of Homeland Security. And World Can't Wait New York City was also denied a march permit for traffic safety reasons. We would like to know whether Homeland Security advised the City of Chicago to deny World Can't Wait's march permit.
So first of all, thank you for being here. I am here because the founders of this nation decreed in the Constitution that the citizens shall have the right, the absolute right, to protest their grievances to their government. And when permission to demonstrate is denied, is a violation of that constitutional right. And I'm reminded here, and I remind you here, that in the 60s, when we were attempting to protest and obtain permission to march and to demonstrate, to protest the government of grievances of racism and sexism that we'd endured over centuries, we were denied that right. And we marched and we protested. We were trampled by horses. We were beaten and bitten by dogs. We were thrown in jail simply because we were protesting the discrimination and the racism and sexism that we had endured over centuries. We succeeded ultimately in demonstrating and in protesting, and as a result of that, statutes were passed to bestow upon us rights which were guaranteed already by the Constitution. And here we find in 2006 the right to demonstrate being denied. And I'm here to protest the denial of the right to demonstrate, to protest government against our violation of our grievances. That's why I'm here. And a denial of a right by a permit to demonstrate is a violation of a constitutional right to protest the grievances of government. And that's why I'm here.
Here, I just want to say it was in Mahatma Gandhi, who I share a common heritage with, started the world movement of nonviolence, and he was followed by Dr. King to have nonviolent movement, the right to protest. This is one of our fundamental rights. As an American Muslim, I am disturbed when we can't exercise this right. Right now, my current government is out invading Muslim nations, trying to spread liberty and freedom. And here in my own nation, as a moderate Muslim, I don't have the right to protest and march. What kind of message is it sending to thousands and millions of people in this country? I think it's sending a very wrong message. We Americans need to stand up for our constitutional rights. This is a right for us to assemble and protest peacefully, and to let all people out there know the kinds of things this current government is doing. It's sending a wrong message to the Muslims here in this country and to the Muslims all across the world. In Iraq today, as hundreds of people died, as our soldiers are dying, as we are technically trying to spread this democracy. Well, there isn't much democracy there, and our democracy is eroding very quickly here. I ask all of you to join us in this march on October 5th with World Can't Wait. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. As a student and an activist, I just want to say what I personally view this as. What I view this as now is the theft of a right which has historically been the right of the people to get their political views heard. What I see is not an issue of logistics of traffic management or homeland security, but a conscientious choice on the part of our government to deny us the right to march through the streets.
My message is to the American people. What will it take for you to rise up? The Bush administration is guilty of a war of aggression in Iraq, illegal and immoral. They're guilty of spying on their own citizens against the law. They're guilty of torturing. Is that what we as Americans are? Torturers, spies, aggressors? There was a world tribunal on Iraq that found President Bush, the other major players in his administration, guilty of war crimes. There was also an international commission on the Bush war crimes, which found the same results. The House of Representatives Judiciary Subcommittee, minority staff report said that there is a prima facie case that they have violated the law at least 5 or 6 times. What will it take for you to rise up and to protest this? The other speakers have spoken eloquently about our right to do this. We certainly have the reasons to do this. Thank you.
By denying this reasonable permit request and otherwise harassing, in many other instances arresting innocent protesters, this mayor is behaving in the worst autocratic fashion, in the worst autocratic traditions of his father. With this mayor, people representing issues that he disagrees with are systematically discriminated against, and yet those he favors are favored with jobs, contracts, and other perks. And in this instance, we see the same pattern behaving once again. Now, you wonder why this particular group of protesters, anti-Bush protesters, might be discriminated against by an alleged Democratic Party mayor. Well, you only have to remember back a few months ago when this same Democratic Party mayor feted the president during his birthday, and they behaved in a mutual admiration society that made any true progressive retch in disgust. The fact of the matter is, this mayor may be behaving in a democratic way, but it's democratic with a capital D, and not with a lowercase d, a democracy which I would hope that all of us stand for. Thank you.
The ostensible reason the city has given for refusing to allow us to proceed down Michigan Avenue is that it would disrupt traffic. I would like to call your attention to the fact that our forces are presently disrupting the lives, killing people, and destroying the countries of many, many places, especially in Iraq. They are torturing, they are detaining without warrant, and they are refusing to allow them to have any recourse to judicial processes. So it seems rather strange that the city would use as an excuse to deny us the right to walk down Michigan Avenue, a fact that we will be disrupting traffic. It's sort of ludicrous on the face of it. I asked Mayor Daley to consider the fact that his very own son is a member of the military who will, if he is not already doing so, will be engaged in what is constitutionally and internationally an immoral and illegal war. So I cannot imagine the mayor would continue his persistence in refusing us the right to walk down Michigan Avenue and call our sisters and brothers to say no to this madness. Thank you.
Yes, we are protesting this denial because of the constitutional implications of it. You're denying people their First Amendment rights again, which the City of Chicago has done consistently since 2001 and prior to that even. But this idea that people cannot protest is un-American to begin with. And the second part of it is that the Bush administration, again, as was stated before, is attempting to say that we are projecting freedom in the Middle East, while in fact the Patriot Act takes away our freedoms to protest and do many other things that like make phone calls without being listened to. And so, essentially, if the city is worried about money, one thing they can do is have fewer police out there, because there has never been an incident in which the police were even needed, particularly last year at the same event. So from a practical standpoint, many of the police don't even have to be there, and they certainly don't need full arms. Thank you.
The majority of the people in the United States are opposed to the war. The majority of the people of the United States are opposed to torture. The majority of people of the United States have been misled to believe that they're isolated. It's important for all of us to go to the streets, to go to those who are able to listen, and to let them know that they are not alone in their opposition to these policies which run so counter to the very best of what our nation is about. My intention is to be among them and to give that witness that there are policies that simply should not stand in the name of the United States of America.